Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Young and Restless poll. The murders in France are over. Where should the show escargot next? The July 28th episode of The Young and the Restless marked the dramatic end to the Aristotle Dumas and Murder in the Maze storylines, and what can we say? It was a mixed bag. Let's discuss, shall we, the good, the bad and the WTH. On one hand, we appreciated that the show went all in. Those train car sets were especially cool. And we love a big reveal like the one that Kane pulled off, even if it didn't really make any sense that Lily's ex was suddenly 15-ish years younger and no longer Australian. On the other hand, we've gotta ask, is a murder mystery still a mystery when it's obvious from the start who the killer has to be? There was only one real suspect, the weird new expendable character. Case closed. And why was Kane sure that someone was going to try to off him? Everyone that he trapped on that mountain was pissed at him, who wouldn't be? But never. Homicidally so. We're also curious about what we were told would be massive, like nothing else in daytime. Maybe massive describes the gamble that Young and Restless took, and we've gotta always applaud a big swing. But, like nothing else in daytime? The Hedges maybe, 2-for-1 deal on legacy characters. We were also befuddled about the fact that the show bumped off Damien after retconning Amy's history, recasting and reintroducing her just to give Nate a half-brother. For what, a few months? Seems like a lot of work to bring on a character for whom the show had no long-term plans. As for killing Chance, why? Just, why? He wasn't exactly in the thick of things story-wise, so wouldn't it have been just as easy, and perhaps shrewder, to have him leave town so that he could be brought back in a few years? Then again, we do always say, shock us, damn it. And it was a shock that Young and Restless would send Chance to the grave rather than, say, Peoria. What's next? Obviously, Kane is going to continue his pursuit of Lily, and may even have a leg up, considering how willing he was to trade places with her as Carter's hostage. But is anyone really clamoring for a Lane rematch with a recast Kane? We'd still rather the show try Lily in a romance with Nick, but after the July 28th episode, it's pretty clear that it's gonna be chic all the way. Beyond that, we have in store more business shenanigans, with Billy betting big on Kane as his best chance to reclaim Chancellor. Personally, I'm not a fan of corporate intrigue. I just don't care which Genoa City suit is sitting in which corner office. But perhaps this will be the storyline that surprises me. It's been a whirlwind in France, an intercontinental storyline full of murder, mystery, seduction, betrayal, and more than a few croissants. Kane and Chance fought to stop another killing spree. Aristotle Dumas may have met his match, and Genoa City's finest found themselves in situations they'll never forget, no matter how hard they try. But with the bodies buried, or maybe not, the wine drunk, and the French Riviera left in a chaotic haze, one burning question now remains for the Young and the Restless. Where do we escargot from here? It's poll time, and we've cooked up a creative, wild, and slightly tongue-in-cheek menu of potential locations for the next major international storyline. Some are classic, some are crazy, and some? Well, they're just so YNR. But before we jet off again, let's recap how we got here, and why the show's leap overseas might be the very best thing that's happened to it in years. Murder, mayhem, and macarons. When Aristotle Dumas lured Genoa City royalty to France under the guise of a posh gala and business dealings, nobody anticipated just how unhinged things would get. From Phyllis swanning into Ken with a plan to seduce, manipulate, and, let's face it, cause chaos, to Billy stumbling across a murder scene while trying to smuggle pastries, the France arc brought cinematic flair and international intrigue back to daytime, and viewers ate it up. The stakes were high: Claire's identity crisis, Kyle's arrest, Audra's double-cross, and the unexpected reappearance of Kane Ashby, all woven into a plot that felt like the Bourne Identity collided with a vintage Victor Newman takedown. Oh, and the clothes. Let's not forget the couture carnage we witnessed at every gala and garden party. But as the mystery winds down and the survivors lick their wounds, there's one thing fans seem to agree on: this can't be the End of YNR's global escapades. It's time to escargot, somewhere new, somewhere dangerous, somewhere dramatic. So without further ado, here are 5 destinations where Young and Restless could set its sights next, and how each locale could launch the next chapter of betrayal, romance, and revenge. Point 1. Venice, Italy, masks, mysteries, and marriages. Venice. The city of canals, clandestine meetings in gondolas, and masquerade balls ripe for identity-swapping shenanigans. Imagine it, Victoria, recovering from her latest romantic misadventure, decides to escape Genoa City and reinvent herself, only to find herself face to mask with a man who looks a little too much like a presumed dead J.T. Hellstrom. Is it him? A doppelganger? Or a plot by Victor to keep her from teaming up with Dumas again? Meanwhile, Nick and Sharon could find themselves pulled into a blackmail scheme involving stolen artwork, and Phyllis, of course, would be at the center of it, claiming she's just here for the tiramisu. Right, Venice would serve old-world glamour with a side of murder mystery. Picture the masked ball episode. Fans would feast. Point 2. Tokyo, Japan, secrets, samurai, and stockholder wars. Imagine Lily Winters taking Chancellor Winters global by striking a deal with a Japanese tech giant, only to find out the CEO is Hiroshi Nakamura, a man with a decades-old grudge against the Abbott family. Enter Ashley, who once had a torrid affair in Tokyo in the 1980s. Nakamura's son is out for revenge, and the weapon? A hostile takeover. Meanwhile, Devon uncovers a hidden aspect of his father's past that links back to Japan, setting him on a collision course with someone who claims to be Neil's long-lost half-brother. Throw in Chance, investigating corporate espionage, and Audra, seducing her way to a CEO's ear, and you've got a delicious, high-stakes game of corporate chess. The backdrop? Neon-lit Tokyo streets and serene temples, perfect for a showdown. Point 3. Sydney, Australia, Ashby's homeland, and a deadly reunion. Let's go down under, shall we? After his heroics in France, Kane Ashby returns to Australia, but not alone. Lily, torn between the familiarity of home and the spark of an old flame, agrees to go with him for a Chancellor Winters expansion, and maybe, to see if there's still something there, but Kane's homecoming isn't smooth sailing. A long-buried family secret comes back to haunt him, and Jill, of course, gets wind of a potential scandal involving her grandson. Meanwhile, Billy, not one to be left out, follows, dragging Chelsea into yet another triangle, only to find himself drawn to a mysterious Aussie businesswoman who has more than just his interest at heart. She has a target on his back. In Sydney, sunshine and surf disguise a deadly game, and as secrets bubble up, someone might not make it out alive. Point 4. New Orleans, USA, ghosts, guilt, and gambling. Let's bring it stateside, but still keep that exotic, moody vibe. Enter New Orleans, with its haunted mansions, voodoo undertones, and jazz-soaked danger. Adam, looking for redemption, again, buys a historic inn in the French Quarter, only to discover it's haunted, possibly by someone connected to his past. Meanwhile, Sally, following Adam to help, uncovers Victor's secret land deal that ties Newman Enterprises to organized crime. Meanwhile, Tessa gets an offer to record with a New Orleans producer. But Mariah, left behind, stumbles onto a crime ring exploiting artists. As their relationship frays, a mysterious musician-turned-grifter enters the scene, targeting both Newman and Abbott interests, and Nikki Newman, after a seance gone wrong? Convinced Catherine Chancellor's ghost is trying to send her a warning. Real? Imagined? Or just perfect soap material? You decide. Point 5. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, carnival, crime, and corporate bloodsport. It's carnival, and Audra is the queen of it. No, literally. She's been sent to Rio to close a deal for Newman, but ends up embroiled in a murderous conspiracy involving a luxury resort, illicit biotech research, and a man who claims to be her brother. Meanwhile, Kyle, now free from Victor's contracts, tries to find himself, and stumbles into a local underground fighting ring, becoming an unlikely hero to street kids, and a target for a powerful crime boss. Nate, brought in for medical research, discovers the biotech company is experimenting on people, and the mastermind? Someone from his past. Cue moral crisis. Betrayal, and a possible death, all set against the vibrant, chaotic backdrop of Rio's carnival, a perfect setting for secrets to explode in Technicolor. But wait. What about Genoa City? Don't worry, we'd never leave our snowy Wisconsin haven behind. The key is balance. While major players are overseas stirring trouble, back home, Victor, Jack, and Jill could fight for control of their empires, with Claire, Summer, and Daniel navigating the fallout, and let's not forget Michael and Lauren, whose marriage just hit the rocks. Will they take a romantic trip to patch things up and find themselves entangled in the next Vote in our poll. Where do you want to see the next young and restless global adventure? Canoe Venice, Masked Balls, Old Flames, New Dangers, Red Paper Lantern Tokyo, Corporate War and Family Secrets, Kangaroo. Sydney, Kane's Return and a Deadly Reunion, Trumpet New Orleans, Ghosts, Music, and Guilt, Performing Arts Rio, Carnival Chaos and Biotech Betrayal. Or something else entirely? World map. Maybe it's time for South Africa, Morocco, or even Antarctica. Hey, soaps have done stranger things. Tell us in the comments and let's see where the next globe-trotting twist could take us. Final thoughts. Why these escapades matter. Why and Ars France storyline proved that ambition pays off. It reignited fan interest, gave beloved characters new dimensions, and allowed for cinematic storytelling rarely seen in soaps these days. And with streaming and global audiences expanding, there's no reason Young and Restless can't continue to go big and go international. So pack your bags, YNR fans, wherever we go next, it's bound to be dripping with danger, desire, and drama. Let's escargot. Snail.